Hello guys, welcome back once again. How are you all? I hope you must be fine. I hope you all are enjoying my videos very well. So what we have done in previous session and last session. So we have done I think only one topic, that is vector ensured capacity method, and we had also done three programs on that. And now today we are going to discuss about what is we are going to discuss about two topics. First is vector equals method, and second thing is that is vector first element. First of all, we have to discuss the theory of vector equals method, and after that we will do one program on that, and after that we will go through vector first element method. So first of all, we have to discuss the theory, that is vector econ method. So okay, are you all ready? So should we start? So let's start it. So I will open Chrome for the theory of for the understanding the concept. So I open here. I write Java 3.2 website, vector in Java, and I used Java 3.2 website that is showing here. Now you see that here we have done vector ensure capacity. Now today we are going to discuss about first is vector equals method. So let's click it on, and after the opening this website or opening the topic, after opening the topic, now we will discuss about what is Java vector equals method. So let's see what is it. Java vector equals method. The equals method of Java vector class used to compare the specified object with this vector for equality. It returns true if and only if the specified object is also array. What does it mean? It basically used to compare the specified object with its vectors for the equality. But it returns true if only if the specified object is also a list. Both lists have the same size and all corresponding pair of elements in two lists are equal. That means that both lists have same size, but all the corresponding or pair elements in the two lists are equals. That's the meaning of this paragraph. Now we will see its syntax. So what is it? Syntax following is a declaration of equals method, that is public boolean. You know what is boolean? I told you many time also. I told you before also that what is boolean. Boolean, if you remember it, then boolean is basically a statement that states whether a statement is true or false. It's basically state only the true or false the statement. It basically shows the whether a statement is true or false. Boolean is a data type. Okay, you must have to remember it. Now we will see its parameter. What is parameter? Parameter is O. Now we will see description. It is the object to be compared for equality with the vector which is in use. It is the object. It is the object to compare for equality with the vector which is in use. It is also required. Okay. Now we will see what is it returns. The returns is the equal method returns true if the specified object is equal to this vector. What is it meaning? It equals method returns true if the specified object is equal to the vector, to this vector or any other vector. otherwise return false. Now that's the theory of vector equals method. Now what we will do, we are going to discuss about its program. So let's see what is its program. So only one program we will do on vector equals method, and after that we will go through first element vector first element topics. So let's see. First of all, we have to discuss it program. So for discussion, I used on Visual Studio Code. I open Visual Studio Code here. Visual Studio Code. Now you see here a new window interface. Now click it on, because creating a new file is better than doing a program in your existing file. Because if I told you also many times that if somebody asks that please show me this file while you have created your file, while you have created a program in your existing file, then if somebody asks that please show me this file, then what you will do if you had forgotten your file name? Then what you will do? You can't show them because you had forgotten your file name. So that's why we must have to create a new file, because that is better. Because that is better than, because if we create a new file and if we remember it our file name, then if somebody asks that please show me this file, then you can show your file, then you can easily show your file because you have remembered your file. So that's why we must have to create a new file. So you should all have to create a new file while you are doing your program. Okay? So I create a new file here. So I write here vector 53.java, because I done 52 topics on vector. So that's why I'm writing 53, because if the same file does not take same file, same, if you have created, if you have already done your vector 53 and now you are going to create a vector 53 file name, create again a vector 53 file name, but it can't take, because you have created a same file name, you have created a same two file name, so that's why it can't take. So we must have to create a different file name, because that is better. So I write here with vector53.java. Now after the creating a file, what you will do here, what you will write here, you remember it, you must have to remember this thing, that you should all have to write package format. What is it? Package format. Package format is import java.util.star semicolon. That is the package format while you are creating a vector program and as well as a user program. So you should all have to write this statement while you are creating a vector program and as well as users program. Because if you don't write this statement, then your program will does not compile, your program will show error. So we must have to write this statement while we are creating a program. So you should all have to remember this thing. I write here import Java util star semicolon. Now enter it. After the writing this statement, what I will write here? I will write here class name here. That's my, I take a class name. So I write here vector 53. Now I take curly bracket. After the taking a curly bracket, what you will write here? You will write public static void in string string Alt. Now you take curly bracket again, and after the writing class name. So what you will write here? What you will do? You have to write here vector format. So what is it? Vector format. Vector format is, you should all have to remember this thing, that is vector of b is in capital letter while you are writing a vector format. So you should all have to remember this thing. If you don't write vector of b is in capital letter, then the program does not compile, your program will show error. So we must have to write vector of b is in capital letter because it is better. Now I write string of s in capital letter, so you must have to remember this thing. Now you take greater than sign because string is the place of element. Vec1 is equals to new. Again, take vector of base in capital letter. Vector. Again, you take less than greater than sign. Now you take bracket sign and now you put semicolon. After writing this vector format, now what you will do here? What you will write here? You will write here vector addition format. So what is it, vector addition format? That is vec1 dot add. Now you take bracket sign, now you put a in the inverted comma and now you put semicolon. Again you take vec1 dot add, now you put bracket, now you put inverted comma and now you take b in the in the inverted comma and now you put semicolon. Again you take back one dot add, now you take a bracket, now you put inverted comma and now you take c in the inverted comma, now you put semicolon. Now after that, after the writing a vector addition format, so what you will do here, what you will write here after writing this. So you will write here again vector format, second vector format. So what is it the second vector format? That is again vector of base in capital letter while you are writing a vector format. So you should all have to remember this thing. Vector. Now I write a string, again a string of s in capital letter because the string is the place of element. Vec2 is equals to new. Again, you take vector of base in capital letter. Now you take less than greater than sign. Now you put take inverted bracket. And now you put the semicolon. After the writing this second vector format, now what you will do? You will write a second vector addition format, that is vec2. Now here you write bracket. Now you put inverted comma. Now you write that a, put semicolon. Again you write the vec2 dot add. Now you put now you take bracket. Now you put inverted comma. Now you write a b in the inverted comma. Now you put semicolon. After the writing this statement, now what you will do? What you will write here? You have to print your all vector addition formula. So what we have to write here? We have to write here print statement, that is system of S in capital letter. You must have to remember this thing because if you don't write system of S in capital letter, then your program will show error. So you should all have to write system of S in capital letter while you are writing a print statement. Print ln. Now you take bracket. Now you put inverted comma. Here you write is vector 1 equals vector 2 question mark. Now you put plus vec 1 dot equal vec 1 dot equals. Now here you write vec 2 in the bracket. Now you put semicolon. Now this program is completed. Now what we have to do? We have to check it whether it is compiled or not. So for checking, you use terminal option. new terminal option, or whether else you can also use some command promotes, that is CMD. You can find it in your search bar option. Now, after the opening the terminal option, now what you will do? You will write the compiling format that is Java C. Now, after that, what you will write here? What you will take? You will take your file name, because that is while you are compiling your program. So your file name is taken. So you should all have to remember this thing while we are writing or compiling format. That file name is taken. File name is most important for compilation. So you should all have to remember this thing. Now I write a file name that is vector53.java. That's my file name. Now I write vector53.java. Now enter it and now wait for few seconds for compilation. So we have to wait it. Now you see that is successfully compiled. Now after the compilation, now what we have to do? We have to run this program. So we have to write Java, and after that for running, what you will do? What you will take here? You will take your class name here. That is my class name vector53. Because for running, your class name is taken. Your class name is taken for running. So you should all have to know this thing for running your program. Your class name is taken. So I take your class name now, enter it, and now let's see whether is this correct or not. Is vector 1 equals vector 2? No, false. It's so false. Why? Why it's so false? Because in vector 1 we have ABC, but in vector 2 only we have AB. Not C. We have not C. So that's why it's so false. Okay, that's why it's so false. So from this way, you could also print any type of vector equals method example. That's the topic of vector equal example and equal method. Now we would like to go through what is vector first element method. So first of all, we have to discuss this theory, we have to discuss this concept, and after that we will go through its program. So let's see what is its concept. So we will go through here Google Chrome, and now we will see a Java 3.2 website. Here you will see our first element topic. Now click it on. After the opening the topic, now let's see what is its theory, what is its concept. So Java vector first element method. The first element method of Java vector class is used to get the first element at index 0 of the vector which is in use. What does it mean? It basically used to get the first element at index 0 where the vector is in use. Where the vector is in use. Okay. Now we will see following. We will see its syntax. What is the syntax? Following is the declaration of first element method. Now what is its syntax? Public e first element. Now we will see its parameter. What is parameter? This parameter does not accept any parameter. It does not accept any parameter. Now we will see its returns. What is returns? The first element method return the first component of the vector which is in use. Which is in use. Okay. Now we will see its exception. What is its exception? No such element exception. This method has thrown an exception if the vector has an empty. If the vector has an empty element, then this method has thrown an exception. Now that's the theory of vector first element. Now we would like to continue on its program. So let's see what is its program. So we will do now continue on Visual Studio can now create again here file name here, new file name for vector first element. Now I write a vector 54.java. Now enter it and now save this file. After the saving this file, what you have to write here, you should all have to remember this thing, that we have to write package format, that is import java.util.star semicolon, because that is most important while you are creating a vector program, while you are writing a vector program as well as users program. So you should all have to remember this thing. We should remember this thing that we should have to write package format, that is import java.util.star semicolon. So that is import, right, then import java.util.star semicolon. Now enter it, and after the writing this statement you take class name here. So I write the class vector 54. Now you take curly bracket, now you enter it, and now here you write public static void main string args. Now you take curly bracket again. Now after the writing this is after the writing a class name, after the taking class name. Now what you have to write here? You should all have to remember this thing, that what we have to write here. We have to write vector format, that is should all have to remember this thing while you are writing a vector program. So you should all have to remember this thing. So we should have to write a vector format, that is vector of base in capital letter. So you should all have to remember this thing. Vectors, I write here integers. Now you take an integer, because integer is the place of element and string also. So again integer of in capital letter. You should all have to remember this thing. Now I write vec is equals to new. Again you write a vector of base in capital letter. Vector. Now you take less than greater than sign. Now you put bracket. Now you put inverted commas. Sorry, not inverted commas. You put semicolon. After that, writing this vector format. Now what you have to write? You have to write vector addition format. That is vec dot add. Now here write 91, 91. I put semicolon. Again you write vec dot add. Now you put bracket, and now here you write 21. Now again you put semicolon. Then you write here vec dot add. Now here you write 31 in the bracket. Now you put semicolon. Then you write vec dot add. Now you take bracket, and here you write 41 in the bracket. Now you put semicolon. Again you write a vec dot add. Again you write here 51. Now you in the bracket. Now you put semicolon. Now after the writing the vector addition format, now what you have to write here? What you have to do? We have to print here all vector addition element. So we have to write print statements here, that is system of s in capital letter while you are writing a print statement. That so you should all have to remember this thing. System.out.println. Now here you write first element of the vector is equals plus vec dot first element. So you should all have to remember this thing, that element of is in capital letter. So you should all have to remember this thing while you are writing a vector first element method or anywhere. Because if you don't write element of is in capital letters, so your program will does not compile, your program will error. So we must have to put element of is in capital letter. Now you put bracket. Now you put semicolon. After the writing this statement, now this program is completed. Now what we have to do? We have to check whether it is compiled or not. So first of all, we have to compile it first. So I write the compiling format. Now after that, I take class name because for compilation your class name is taken. So you should all have to remember this thing. That is vector 54 dot Java. Here is my class name. Here is my class name. Now I write the vector 54 dot Java. Now enter it and now wait for few seconds for compilation. You see that is successfully compiled. Now, after the compilation, what we have to do? We have to run this program. So we have to check whether it is run or not. So we have to write Java. Now, after that, what we have to do? We have to take class name for running your program. So I write here that is my class name, vector 54. So you should all have to know this thing that for class name, for running your class name only taken. You should all have to remember this thing. Now enter it. Now let's see. The first element of the vector is 91. I write it T-I-T-Y-H-E, but only I write it the vector. Don't worry, you will correct it. That is 91. So here is my first element, that is 91. So from this way, you could also print any type of vector first element method. That is my first example of my vector first element method. Now we would like to go through second example. So let's see how to do this second example. So for doing this, I will create another file also. So I write vector 5.java and now enter it and now save this file. After the saving this file, what we have to do? What we have to write here? We have to write package format, that is, you should all have to remember this thing, that is import java.util dot star semicolon. So you should all have to remember this thing while you are writing a vector program. So you should all have to remember this thing, that you should all have to write. You should all have to put package formats while you are creating a vector program or as well as user program. So I write here import java.util dot star semicolon. After the writing a package format, now what you have to do? Well, you have to write the class name. So I write here class name, that is vector 55, vector 55 only. Okay, 1 minute wait, 1 minute wait. Okay, so where we are, let's continue. So we are creating our second vector first element program. So I write here public static void main string args. Now you put bracket. Now you put the curly bracket, and after the taking this, now what you have to write here? So you should all have to remember these things. We have to write vector format. So what is it vector format? That is, you should all have to remember this thing, that vector of base in capital letter while you are writing a vector format. And remember this thing, vector. Now I write here string of s in capital letter. You should all have to remember this thing because string is the place of element. Now I write the colors is equals to new. Again you write the vector of base in capital letter, vector. Again you write the string of s in capital letter, string. Now you take the greater than sign, now you put bracket in the inverted. Now after that you take semicolon. After the writing this vector format, now what you have to do? You have to write vector. You have to write vector addition format. So what is it? Vector addition format. That is, I write sorry, not back. I write colors dot add big bracket. Now here write white in the bracket the inverted comma, and now you put semicolon. After that, what we do? Again, you write here colors dot add. Again, you write here another column that is green. Then what is comma? Now you put semicolon. Now after that, you write here colors dot add. Now again, I write another colors name that is black, and then what is comma? I put semicolon. Again, I write the colors dot add. Now again, I write a bracket, and now I put blink in the inverted comma. I put semicolon. After the writing of vector addition format, now what you have to do? What you have to write here? You have to print your all vector addition format. So we have to write here print a statement that is system of s in capital letter while you are writing a print statement. So you should all have to remember this thing system dot out dot println, and now here write bracket. Now you put inverted comma. Here you write first color of this vector is equals to, now you put here plus colors dot first. Again you write an element of is in capital letter, so you should all have to remember this thing element. Now you take bracket. Now I put semicolon. After the writing this print state, now this program is completed. Now what we have to do, we have to check whether it is compiled or not. So for compilation, I write the compiling format here. So I write a Java C, that is compiling format. Now what we have to do, we have to take file name for compilation. So that is most important. So you should all have to know this thing. For compilation, your file name is taken. So my file name is that vector 55.java. Here is my file name. So you should all have to remember this thing. So I write a vector 55 Java. Now enter it. Now wait for few seconds for compilation. We got some error where we got colors. Oh, here I had got some error. Now again control plus S, save again, control plus S. Now again compile. Wait for few seconds for compilation. Now is you see that it's successfully compiled. Now after the compilation, what we have to do? We have to run this program. So we have to write Java for running. Now after the writing this statement, this format. Now what we have to do? We have to take class name for running. So that is most important. So you should all have to remember this thing that for running your class name is taken. So you should all have to know this thing that is my class name. Here is my class name vector 55 dot vector 55 only. Now enter it. You see that first color of this vector is white. So from this way, you could also print any type of vector first element method. So that's the second example of my vector first element. Now we would like to go through third example and last example for today of vector first element method. So let's see what is it, how to do that. So for doing, I will create another file also. So I write a vector 56.java. And now enter it and now save this file. After the saving this file, now what we have to do, we have to write compiling format. So it's not compiling, okay. I say wrong. We have to write package format, that is import java.util.star semicolon. So you should all have to remember this thing while you are writing a vector. While you are writing a vector program, so you should all have to remember this thing that we have to write a package format, and after that we take class name here. I write a vector uh 56. Now I take curly bracket and here write public static void main string args. I you put the bracket, now you take curly bracket and here you write after the taking a curly bracket. 1 minute wait. Okay, let's continue again. So where we are doing a last program for today. So after that, we're writing a class name here. After creating a class name here, what we have to do? We have to write a vector format here. So you should all have to remember this thing. So what is vector format? That is vector of base in capital letter while you are writing a vector format. So you should all have to remember this thing. Again, integer of i's in capital letter. You should all have to remember this thing because integer is the place of string and element. Now after that I write a vec object is equals to new. Again you write a vector of base in capital letter vector. Again you write an integer of i's in capital letter and you write a bracket, not bracket, take greater than sign. Now you put bracket and after that you put semicolon. After the writing this vector format, now what we have to do? We have to write here print this statement. We have to print our vector format. So we have to write here print this statement, that is print. So we have to write here print this statement, that is system of s in capital letter. You should all have to remember this thing while we are writing a print statement, that is system of s in capital letter system dot out dot println, and after that you write here take bracket and here you write in the inverted comma first element element of the vector is equals to. After that you write here plus vec object dot first. Again you should all have to remember this thing, element of is in capital letter while you are writing a vector first element method. Now I take here bracket and now you put semicolon. After the writing this statement, this program is completed. Now what we have to do? We have to check whether it is compiled or not. So for compilation, I write compiling format, and after that I take file name. That is my file name here. So because for compilation only your file name is taken, so you should all have to remember this thing. I write a file name, that is vector56.java. Now enter it and now wait for few seconds for compilation. You see that is successfully compiled. Now after the compiling, now what we have to do? We have to run this program. So for running, I write here Java, and after that for running your class name is taken. So you should all have to remember this thing. So for running, class name is only taken. So what my class name, that is vector 56. So I write here vector 56 and now enter it. You see that it's printed successfully. So my now it's printed successfully. Now that's the last example for today. Now that's it for today. Now we will continue on second session and we will discuss more topics on vectors in next session. So that's it for today. I hope you like my videos. I hope you enjoyed my videos very much. If you like it, then please like, subscribe, and share my videos to everyone so that everyone can see my videos. So if you have got any problem in that, then please comment me. I will help you out. And as well as if you have got any problem in theory as well as in program, then I will provide you a link in my description. Then please go through my description and please go through this website. That's the link is given in my description. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.